Yo, I got my mic on. I have my mic on. Damn. Get the mic popping. All right, we should have action. I couldn't figure out, like, I scheduled the live and I didn't know how to, like, go live from how I scheduled it. So it's like a whole new room. I'll figure it out next time. Y'all know I'm new to this YouTube stuff. I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to get in here. Another 5 minutes because of my technical difficulties. I'm 4 minutes late. It's going to be another Q&A. Any questions that y'all got in regards to real estate, surplus funds, wholesaling, anything like that? Camera on. There we go. There we are. So we are back with another one. Any questions that y'all got? Anything you want to know? Structuring your LLC, business funding, hiring your VAs, training your VAs, how I pull my ninja list, anything you want to ask. Whoever just jumped in the box, welcome. You know, we answering any questions you got related to real estate, surplus funds, wholesaling, anything like that. Setting up your business, hiring VAs, where should you work, how to get started, do you need money, all that good stuff. So if you got any question, you can actually you can send me a request to go live. I've never done that on YouTube, but you can send me a request to go live, and yeah, I answer your question, or you can type it over there in the box. Yo, what's good, Lamarius? My boy, what's happening? How you feeling? How you feeling, my boy? Any you guys started making calls yet? Anybody in the box started making calls yet? Oh, just finished hooping. Word, man. I'm supposed to be getting back in that gym. Ask away, man. You know, just let me know what you want to know. I'm gonna be in the box for a little while tonight. I gotta start hooking up with my other camera. This camera trash can. Yeah, I have 2 leads. I'm working right now. Gotcha. So yeah, 2 leads working. That's dope. 2 leads, 2 questions. Well, the 2 leads, are they surplus funds deals or wholesale deals? Surplus funds or wholesale? Let's see. Surplus funds word. That's dope. State funds, tax overages, mortgage overages. What is it? Foreclosure. Okay. Gotcha. So you work on mortgage overages. That's dope. So what's your 2 questions in regards to that? Hold on, I ain't gonna die. I don't know if you can come on here live, man. If you could, if you know how, send me a request. I would definitely accept it. I would definitely accept it. Set it right there. Oh, it says you don't have access to this feature. Oh, you don't have access to this feature. Oh. What your questions is, my boy? I don't see nowhere to let you in live at. I guess you just gotta type them over. One question. So the funds are in the registry, but when I submitted it to the attorney, he said there was too many lien holders in position before the claimant. Okay, so that's the research part of things. That's what I mean when I say you got to be able to research the debt. So I got a case. The lady got like 100 and some thousand, but there's a federal tax lien now. Says I thought they only had 180 days. So they have 180 days. Well, depending on where you're working. What state is this? Yeah, depending on if you like where you working at. Oh, you're in Louisiana. Okay. 100K case as well. I have 2 federal tax liens. This is Louisiana. Yeah, that comes with the territory, man. It's probably some leads I done ran across depending on what market you in. Um, Mine's got federal tax liens. Federal tax liens are 20 years, 25 years, I think, before they can prescribe. That's what I was going to tell you to do. I was going to tell you to check the instrument numbers on those liens. So when the attorney researched the liens, he went to the land records and he saw that maybe the attorney even emailed them to you. If he didn't email it to you, have him email you those instrument numbers. Some of those liens would prescribe. You can also, if it's enough money to clean the liens up the right way, you can negotiate that with those lien holders. Let's see. Yeah, the attorney said mine didn't drop off until 2027. Oh yeah. I think I one that drops off 2025. But wonderful thing about that, if you got a power of attorney with that person, it's just gonna stay until then. So you still can work with them. So it's just put it in the file, wrap it up, pull that joint out, go collect your money. Um, the claimant would love that. You would love that. Everybody would love that. But in general, I would say have that attorney send you over those what do you call them? Those instrument numbers, so you can look at those liens and actually get familiar with that type of stuff. Because you can find that stuff yourself. You just got to get to land records. If you're working in another parish, you're going to have to pay for their land records, but it's cool. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no big deal. Sometimes some of them are a little expensive. Like in New Orleans, it's $100 a month. So a lot of people don't work in New Orleans. A lot of people don't want to pay $100 a month just for the research part of it, and it's time consuming. Um, so I would. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I would say, man, just research those liens, see which ones can prescribe, get those prescribed, or not get them prescribed. See which ones can prescribe, and maybe you can work out something with the other lien holders. But the federal working with the feds, they ain't working nothing out but their money. That's it. So what cases should I attack? Like how many lien holders should be in front of? I don't know. Your attorney, that depending on the case. The lien holders is any judgments or judgments, possessions, or like credit card debt or something crazy like that. Like I got a case, I got to go drop off, but I had to email the Capital One department about this guy's credit card debt to get a payoff amount. Once they sent me a payoff amount, it was like $5,000. I think it's like 20 some thousand or something. So we attached that payoff from lien holders. The prescription period. So that's the time that elapses when a lien can come off your name. So I think the most layman way that most of us are familiar with it is credit card debt. So credit card debt comes off your name in I think 7 years for the most part, right? So different things are gonna have different prescriptions. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a part of the game that a lot of people don't talk about, but you can get deals and line up deals that people just won't get if you know how to do it. Like we just got down in a I'm actually working a couple of successions too. Yeah, succession's dope. Yeah, succession's dope. You got to make sure. The thing about successions, when you're doing that research, you got to read through that research so much to see which one of the heirs didn't get their money. Because normally, if the case is titled a succession, that means the money is left in there because they couldn't find one of the heirs, which is typical, standard for this business. but you just got to find out which heir it was. So the research is a little more nuanced to actually find that claimant, because depending on where you're working at, um, they the information just looks different. As long as you know what you're looking for, you'll be okay. Um, we touching down actually today was our VA's first day doing non-judicial leads. So we touching down in a non-judicial state. We getting out of these judicial states. We're not leaving judicial states, but I want to get busy with the non-judicials. What you got? And the thing I am running into is once I do contact them, they wanted to use their attorney, their performance that performed the probate. How do I get around that? So the way you get around their attorney is that has to be discussed. That has to be. I'm not gonna say discussed. That has to be brought up in your pitch, in your initial pitch. So it's hey, my name is such and such. I work at 123 Asset Recovery. Your name came across my list, or I was looking for Miss Donna. Hey, this is Donna. Yeah, my name is Dexter from 123 Asset Recovery. I was reaching out to you in regards to a property you must own at 56 Main Street. Yeah, I own that property, but I lost it. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's why I was reaching out. It looks like you possibly have some assets or some valuables left over from the sale of that property. What it is we do is we're an asset recovery company. We help people recover these funds. We don't charge them anything up front. We have roughly 3 levels to what we do. We got a research team, a locator team, and a legal team. And everything is covered up front. We don't pay. I mean, you don't pay anything out of pocket. But those are the 3 tiers to the team, and they get 10% a piece. So if we do recover, let's say $1,000 for you, we get $300. You get $700, and out of that $300, we pay the legal fees. So you never have to worry about legal fees. We take care of probates. We take care of any judgments or any prescriptions that need to be done. And here's our website that's a little more in detail. That's typically how you do that. So when you opened up, you didn't already threw your attorney out there. Now if they just like, hey, I just want to use my attorney, it's either they BSing, or they just really don't trust what you're saying to a degree. So typically when they do something like that, yeah, typically when they give me that kind of energy, I tell them to hey, you can call my attorney, and ask them, has he worked with us? Is he familiar with us? Is this real? Um, I do pay everything out of that. Um, so that just to me just builds a whole nother level of credibility when you're talking to your people, especially when you got a nice website to send them to. I would say a nice website, get you a real email address. What you got? Yes, they said they wanted to use their attorney. It was 67K case. Did you are you telling them how much money is there? Let me know. Are you telling them how much money is there? And bro, you might be good for my 50/50 program, my 50/50/50 program. Let me know if you want to get in that. Okay, so I don't tell them how much money is there. You got to. I'm not mad at people that do. I just don't. And the main reason I don't, I definitely am going to rock with you. Yeah, you should, brother. Most definitely. My other guy, he got roughly about 30 bands coming through in the next month and a half, of claimants, and I just signed another one. Well, we just got the motion drawn up on another one today. So yeah, you should. But you should never tell them how much money is there, because we don't know what type of liens or judgments may or may not pop up. This week alone, I locked up 100K and 20K in 268. succession cases. 67K. Oh, or that's dope. That's fire. That's fire. You locking them joints up then. You know what I mean? It's just the research. Any of them going let's see, I didn't get the contract on the succession shit. Gotcha. You headed in the right direction, like, you know what I mean? You know how to get your leads. And I pretty much work everywhere in Louisiana, probably except Jefferson Parish. Jefferson Parish is a little different in regards to getting your leads and that sort of thing. So, but it's not different in regards to getting your leads. Like, I think they take the funds and they send them directly to the state, which that's something else that we're gonna be opening up here hopefully in the next 2 weeks, a week or so. We're gonna be bringing in another virtual assistant to just do state funds. We finna get busy with those. Appreciate that, man. That's dope. That's dope to hear somebody learn from the videos, man. I definitely didn't have the audio and all that stuff hooked up like I should have had it hooked up, like I understand now. So I'll probably do another course at some point in time. But that course right there definitely get people started. Like, there's a lot of courses out there, and they not bad, but they not as detailed. And my course tell you how to get busy anywhere. We're not worried about what the law say. The 40 request was, there you go. The 40 request, the game changer, baby. They give you access. Then you gotta learn how to research. Once you learn how to research, bam. You can go 40 requests you somewhere, pull you 10, 15 leads, work a week trying to contact them 10, 15 people, and on, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. Now, I don't actively make calls every day anymore. I'm kind of doing stuff like making SOPs, doing sales trainings, trying to open up new markets. Like, I'll be on the phone with a lot of clerk of courts tomorrow, and got some more stuff to take care in regards to the business. We're trying to get some funding. But yeah, bro. We gotta see, I'm calling, man. Let me ask you this: what parish do you live in? You live in Louisiana? If so, what parish you live in? Or what part of Louisiana you live in? Like, because I might have another opportunity for you. I don't mind giving game. That's what I'm here for. Oh, you down there in that shit too, my boy. Okay, you should go to what's up, man? Whoever just hopped in the box. Ask any questions you like in the side. You can read over them questions that my man Lamarius just asked. And any questions y'all got in regards to real estate, wholesaling, surplus funds, anything like that, just let me know. But you down there in the sticky sticks, where all the mobile homes at. That's what I was just about to say. You read my mind. You already know where I'm about to go. You already know where I'm about to go. That's funny. It's funny, bro. I gotta get some free music to start playing in the background. This beat trash. I hate not playing nothing. But whoever over there in the live, bro, we talking about the surplus funds business, and I was actually about to give him a tip about mobile homes. So I don't know where you live, whoever just hopped in the box, but if you live somewhere near mobile homes, you should go put out bandit signs. You should go to two places. Go to signstapler.com. They're gonna eventually sponsor me because I send people there. Go to signstapler.com and order you a sign stapler. That's SIGN stapler, STAPLER.com. Order that joint. Or if you good with your hands, make you one. So yeah, order you one of them joints. Then go to dirtcheapsigns.com and order you 100 bandit signs. What's up, Steph? What you got? Wondering if in the case that I can bring contacts over to you, will you show me how to find, research the property, see the lien? That's exactly what I do in my 50-50-50 program. So I'm gonna run over what that look like. Let me close this door so my son don't walk in. let me run over what that look like. So what I do with people is I partner with them and we 50-50 all of the deals until um, we get to 50,000. And I get 50,000 and you get 50,000. So after your first $100,000 worth of claims you've made, at that point you go off on your own. That's how I kind of ensure that people know what they're doing, unless they get lucky and like get a $190,000 deal and they get 40% of that. Well, it's like, well, hey, we only got one more deal and the mentorship over with. Unless you want to keep going, So I don't mind, keep going with people. But yeah, I definitely do have that. If you want to sign up for that, you need to go over in my Facebook page. Um, you can go send me a message in the private group and just send me a message with 50-50-50, your phone number and an email address, and a good time for us to chat. And I will reach out to you and we will get started in your backyard. So, with that being said, where do you live? Fee? No fee, no fee, no fee. I don't charge. The only thing I charge is work ethic. We bust the deals down the middle. Um, and I do require that people watch the course. Word. Um, I do require that people watch the course before they actually get in my mentorship, and I'm gonna know whether or not you watch the course by certain questions that you ask me, because I go over a lot of that stuff in the course. Um, is this cool? I go over a ton of that stuff in the course. I just got your message. You should send it in the group. I don't know if you're in the private group or not, but try to send it over there using your Facebook page. But that's cool. Whenever you can, just make sure you send it in the group. But that works because I need your contact information to reach out to you to schedule a phone call. But like I said, there is no fee. You just definitely need to watch that course. The reason I want people to watch the course is you're gonna have such a great starting point when we actually start getting on the phone together. And then I say if I say, hey, if I say, hey, get a FOIA request and let's go to this county, or go to the clerk's office and ask them for this, you'll be familiar with it because you watch the course. We'll just be able to flow into what we're doing a lot easier. And because the most important part about this business, I would say, is getting fresh leads or getting leads to other people that don't know how to get, and closing. Those are probably the most important two things. Cool, I got you. Are you located in Louisiana as well? If so, let me know what part of Louisiana you in. Oh, you in Cali. Sheesh. So you out there with a real big bags at? You are working somewhere where I think most places take up to a year to pay out. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's one of those things that if you're serious about the business and you really want to work in your backyard, you'll build up a pipeline of deals. So maybe between now and this time next year, you have 5, 10 deals, and then they all start trickling down at once. But that's a matter of us looking up the law. We can what county are you in California? Because I know San Diego takes a year, and I know when you're doing state funds, it takes a year. I'm not sure if it's like that in every county. That's the wonderful thing about this business. You're in LA. So I would suggest making a phone call to the clerk of court tomorrow and say, hey, um, we think that we possibly had some unclaimed funds, and they're gonna ask you for a name and stuff. And you're gonna be like, it's actually my grandmother's, but I'm not sure what name it was in. But I was actually calling to see how long would it take to get them. And they'll typically be like, oh, well, the judge signs it, or ask them the process. How long would it take for the judge to sign? You just want to kind of figure out the best you can how long would it be before you'll actually get paid out from those funds. You never know. They might tell you 90 days, 180 days. That's decent. I can get busy with 180 days. So yeah, for sure. I would look into that first. Other than that, good states to work. The way I work the business, I can work any state. It just boils down to how soon they pay out and how long the funds are there and how much competition it is. So I've never gotten a deal in Florida. People start in Florida. It's a lot of people that suggest you start in Florida in this business, and I'm not mad at them for saying it. In my opinion, Florida, you're going against a lot of big dogs with VAs. You're going against people that got 5, 10 VAs in their team. They got 10 people doing research. They got 10 people doing cold calls. So you can definitely get deals because the deals come every day. But you have to really be on top of it in Florida. Oh, so he said he started in Florida. I wish I could bring you on live so you can explain your experience. I had a partner guy that got a deal in Florida. He got a deal in Florida, told the lady how much was there. She went around him and got it. But I mean that comes with the territory of the business to a degree. Um, but in regards to another state to get busy in, I would probably call any state or any county around you, any state county. So let me just give you the basic steps. Step number one, figure out what state you want to work in. Step number two, figure out the biggest counties in the state. Step number three, figure out are they non-judicial or are they judicial states? Because a judicial state like Louisiana, not sure about California, but a judicial state is when the courts have to handle the foreclosure. So the bank would have to send that foreclosure document to the courts. In a non-judicial state, they have trustees. So typically, title companies or lawyers handle that. So at that point, and the reason you want to know that is you need to know who to send your FOIA request to. I'll give you a quick tidbit that's in the course. SPLC.org. SPLC.org. You can go there and generate a FOIA request. Now you'll need the wording in regards to what to ask for, and that's in my course. But SPLC.org is definitely where you can go generate a FOIA request that for free, and I'm sure there's a couple more places out there. But once you figure out where you choose, let's say you choose Arizona, I think they're a judicial state. And by the way, I suggest judicial states simply because I've never done a deal in a non-judicial state, so I'm not going to tell you something that I've never done. FOIA request is a game changer. Yeah, 100% game changer. He know it. He know the juice. He got the juice. Now he trying to get the squeeze. But knowing once you figure out what county you want to work, or I wouldn't tell you to work something I hadn't worked. We are training IVAs. We started Friday training IVAs on getting in non-judicial states. So we'll be going places that I think the list a little bit harder to get. Do non-judicial states takes less time. So at non-judicial states, Florida is a state that's considered non-judicial and judicial. So that's a very unique state. One thing about non-judicial states is those foreclosures happen fast. So when you don't have to when you don't have to go through the courts, see, when you have to go through the courts, you have to deal with the state, county, and laws. When you're doing it non-judicial, they have their own laws just regarding foreclosure in specific. It's not so broad. So normally when it's non-judicial, Texas, for example, you stop paying your mortgage, you fall behind 45 days, you're gonna get that first piece of mail. After them 45 days, you're gonna officially go into foreclosure. Once you go into foreclosure, you got like another 10, 15 days, and they're gonna send it to a trustee. The trustee is then gonna send it to the next trustee sale. All this is gonna happen in like 60, 75 days tops. So the homes sell a lot faster there. In New Orleans or in Louisiana in general, it's a process. If you're in foreclosure today, you may not actually go to court or be foreclosed on for 2-3 years. So that money may not generate. People still live in the property. Sometimes they let the property go to shits. But I work judicial states. So I wouldn't say non-judicial states pay out faster. I do know the foreclosures happen a little faster. It's really a matter of learning the blueprint of whatever county that you're working. Once you know how to run the play, then you understand. Then it's your job to understand the field or the court or something like that that you're on at the time. So I'm in the process of figuring out Tennessee. Tennessee is a non-judicial state. Uh, we're trying to do something in Mississippi. I think Mississippi's non-judicial, if I'm not mistaken. Um, we going to all 50 states actually. Just to be honest, we just kind of starting the tougher ones to get. That's our plan. As soon as this business funding is all lined up, we will be hiring probably 5 more VAs, and we'll have about 5 people doing research and 5 people doing cold calls. Each VA should be able to cover at least 4 states. So 5 VAs, that'll be 20. What is that? That 25 states? No, 5 to 20 states. I'm sorry. So 20 states for every 5 VAs. So we would just need like 15 more VAs, and we can get the rest of America. Imagine that. But that's the plan. That's the plan. We're gonna dump some money into it. It's all about having your SOPs, your standard operating procedures. When you get into the point where you actually want to hire virtual assistants and you want to bring on a research team and you want to bring on a transaction coordinator and all that stuff, which I don't have a transaction coordinator. I still kind of I take care of that portion of the business. And it's not that I don't want to take my hands off it. It's just you have to learn wherever you're closing deals at so well. I can get a transaction coordinator for Louisiana because I've closed so many deals. So I understand how Louisiana works. I wouldn't get one for Tennessee at first. But starting out, you want to get a researcher and a cold caller. You can get 1 and 1. You can get these people. A lot of people say get them for $4, $5 an hour. You can typically get them for about $2 an hour if you get them totally untrained. Now the problem with the $2 an hour VA that's cold calling probably has no experience and he probably has an accent. So you do want to stay away from VAs that have an accent because that doesn't play well in this business. Being that people think that we're a scam anyway, it doesn't play well to have a certain accent calling. But in regards to research, you can get somebody to train them from top to bottom, send them through my course. The guy called me today and was like, man, my VA been watching your course and now she pulled leads for us. I was like, hey, I didn't even think about it like that. So now I'm suggesting people, if you get VAs, send them through my course. But then you got the whole cold calling aspect. That's something that you're gonna have to pay for, or you're gonna have to learn. And if you pay for it, you're gonna pay somebody that has that skill. And a trained, nice VA would definitely cost you at least $5 an hour, maybe $4 an hour, maybe $3 an hour, depending on how you incentivize them. But I would say at least $4 an hour. We pay ours $3 an hour. We all trained them up from scratch. One guy was with us on our wholesale side. I think actually both of them. They were with us on our wholesale side. Now they do our wholesale and our surplus funds. One guy worked at AT&T. I'm sorry. Yeah, he worked at AT&T with DirecTV on that side, like selling internet or something. So he had sales experience, perfect accent, sound like he's from Middle America. Doesn't sound, not Middle America, but like Midwest America. Doesn't sound like he's in the Philippines. Same thing with our other virtual assistant. I'm not sure. I forget what his experience was off top, but he definitely doesn't sound like he's in the Philippines. And I have my researcher, which her and I spend a lot of time together because I have to pour so much into her. She has to understand, like she's sending out FOIA requests, which means she's about to start coordinating with the counties. If you're coordinating with the counties, you got to know how to use the right lingo. You got to know what they're saying. And her hours, because she wants to go full time, so her hours going to change. If you want to go full time, you're going to have to do full time stuff. We're going to need you to Find out when they generate new lists so we know when to ask for new lists. We're going to need you to change the phone numbers in the systems as the virtual assistants are reaching out. We get fresh numbers every week to make sure we're not spam. We're going to need you to research at least 4 states and pull. Normally, I work about 4 counties per state. So we'll just say if we're working 4 states, we're working 16 counties. Uh, but yeah, that's just part of it. And I got a whole little SOP Google Doc um that they go by. I do a 15-minute training before every shift that my cold callers go on. So, they're always fresh when we go in. It's like stretching almost. What you got? Is the course for both tax and so my course is for everything. My course is for surplus funds in general. This is what they don't tell you. This is what no courses talk about, okay? Tax overages is a form of surplus funds. Mortgage is a form. Bankruptcy overages is a form. State funds is a form of it. The point is you need to know where to get the list from. I don't care what kind of case it is. It could be any kind of case. If the money is there and it's not in litigation, this is I'm going to do a little research talk. If the money is there, I'll give you an example. I did an expropriation case. That's actually the next check we should be getting any day now. Expropriation is eminent domain. That's when the government comes in and takes a piece of property and they deem it for public use and they put money in the registry of the court, or sometimes the family will fight it and try to get more money. Obviously, those people know about it, so we don't work with those people. But sometimes the family doesn't know about it. It was father was deceased or somebody was deceased. So that's not a tax overage or mortgage overage. So that's why I wouldn't say, does my course teach that? My course teaches how to pull leads. Now, you'll be able to identify, if you know how to research, you're going to be able to identify what type of lead it is. If it's a tax overage, it'll say the state or that county, or like in Texas, it'll say, it'll name all of them. So it'll say something like Wiley School District, Wiley Public College. All of the public entities will be named in that lawsuit, which they'll let you know, hey, this is a tax overage. Or if you see PNC Bank or Capital One Bank, then you know it was a foreclosure, which makes it a mortgage overage. That's what that is. What about Congress or tutorship? So those aren't leads. Tutorship is, so when you run across this stuff, I'm glad you said that. When you run across this stuff, because I had to look those up myself. I forget what concurse was, but I don't think that's a lead. I think it's like, I forget what that was. I would have to look that one up again. But we're not trying to take that one as a lead. That nor tutorship. Tutorship, I know what that is. That's like if somebody dies, like if somebody, parent dies, and they have a huge insurance claim, or any kind of insurance claim or anything that go to them, the money will be put in the registry of the court until that kid is older. Or if you have a trust set up, like I have a trust set up for my kid. If you have a trust set up, anything, the rules of that trust could say, your child is not to touch these funds until they're 25 years old, or until they did. Like mine's are pretty specific. My son has to go work door to door for a year, and then he has to work in the business for a year, and he has to, do some surplus recovery for a year, and then he kind of get the full reins to get a little bit of creative control. So that would be considered not necessarily a tutorship, but that's an example of what a tutorship is. Sometimes it's college funds. Sometimes people just put money in there for college. So these kids typically know about it. What about tort injury damages? Can we attack those? So you most definitely could. CO or other. Yeah, I definitely do CO or other. But tort injury and damage is typically somebody suing somebody. So to sue somebody, they have to have been served. And if they've been served, they're aware of the lawsuit. And the person that sued them, if they win, then that person gets the funds. So they know the money is there. The money is just sitting in limbo for whatever reason. That's considered still in litigation. We don't work in any cases that's like still in litigation. That's how those get busy. But those mobile homes, bro, go to signstapler.com. Go to dirtcheapsigns.com. You'll probably spend $300 at the most. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but at the most $300, and get you 100 signs. Get you a sign stapler. Put we buy houses. We buy mobile homes, any condition. We buy mobile homes, land. What I put on my? I put we buy mobile homes and land, any condition. Or we buy land and mobile homes, any condition. What you got? What about seeing petition of contract on? I think I have about 100 minutes. I gotta put them out tomorrow. Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you this. In regards, how would you start a conversation in surplus funds to not sound like a scam? I'm leading with credibility. Your credibility is gonna help you not sound like a scam. So my typical call is, hey, bring. Hello, hey John. Yeah, this is John. Hey John, this is Dexter. Man, we've been trying to reach out to you for a minute. I have an asset recovery business. Let me start over. Oh yeah, I did say that. Yeah, I did say John. Hey John. Yeah, we have an asset recovery business. Did you used to own a property at 123 Main Street, or are you familiar with a property at 123 Main Street? Yeah, I used to own that property. What about it? I think I don't have it no more. Have nothing to do with it. Well, that's exactly why we're reaching out to you. So we're reaching out to, and I go into detail about it. But the point is, I'm leading with that so they understand what I'm doing. And within my pitch, it's a series of stories and explanations in there. So I have like a closer framework I'm putting together for my sales team. I'll go over a little bit of it with y'all. Let me see. Sales team. There we go. So we got a closers framework. I got the questions coming through. Oh, most definitely, Sandra. What's good? Let me go over this closing. Let's see. Sandra said, "How would you start a conversation?" Oh wait. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I was answering there, but I thought somebody else said no. So this is like the closer framework, right? So we're gonna clarify, we're gonna label, overview, sell, explain, reinforce. That's an acronym closer. Clarify, label, overview, sell, explain, reinforce. Okay, when we clarifying, that's calling, saying who we are and what the hell do we want. We're gonna label them with the problem. Hey, you own the property at X, Y, and Z? Yeah, I used to own that property. Well, what it is that we do is we help people recover possible assets or valuables that's owed to them. It looks like your property sold for a little more than the asking price. You possibly have funds left over. So we just label them with a problem. After we label them with a problem, we're gonna overview their past experience. So we're gonna do an overview. So you ask the question like, anybody, did you have any clue about this? Did anybody reach out to you about this? And if they say yes, you ask them, how did that go? And why didn't you move forward? And if they say no, then you say, okay, great. Then you want to go to selling, right? Now, when you go into selling, you want to give them the process. How does this process typically go? Well, listen, this process typically works like this. Are you familiar with unclaimed funds? I typically ask people that unclaimed funds or state funds. You ever heard anything like that? And they say no, or they say yes. And I say, hey, well, go to whatever state you live in, or go to Louisiana state unclaimed funds. It's like, so that's considered state funds. We don't work state funds in my business. All we work are county funds. Your name came across our list via a county list is why I'm reaching out to you. So that's me giving them a story. I just gave them a story on how it works. I just compared it to something that they are familiar with. They are familiar with Louisiana Unclaimed Funds Division. Most people are familiar with the Unclaimed Funds Division of their state, or they at least heard something. Some people, I would say maybe 6 out of 10. I actually got a really cool series coming. I'm doing street interviews about unclaimed funds. That's gonna be on my shorts. So if y'all don't check out my shorts, those coming through, it's gonna be that's gonna be interesting right there. But the next part of that conversation, after you sell, then you want to explain away their concerns, right? So when you're explaining away their concerns, that's any objections that they have. I want to talk to my lawyer. I want to talk to my wife. And listen, you don't have to get the close on the first. I don't like giving people that pressure, like you got to close on the first call. I do close about 50-60% on the first call, but I have a serious sales background. Like I did it for a long time. So I do close on the first call sometimes. But it's no pressure to close on the first call. You just want to make sure you give them enough information. And so when those objections come, you got to know what questions to ask. That's the thing about objections. So, I got to speak with my wife. But typically, you don't have to deal with that objection if you ask the question like this in the beginning. Hey, real quick, John, is there any more decision makers that would play a role in you making your decision as to whether or not you decide to work with us or not? No, it's nobody else. It's just me. They get that commitment up front. So now on the back end, when John says, "Hey, I need to speak to my wife," oh, John, you told me you was a man of your word. You said that you was the only decision maker on this. Now I get you may want to get your wife's input on it, but again, John, we don't charge anything up front. You'll never give us $1. We'll never ask for a credit card, a check, or debit card, or anything like that. Our attorneys are on a retainer. We pay them monthly, and we also pay them a percentage of the deal once we actually get the funds. And if we don't find any funds, nobody gets charged, no harm, no foul. That's the cost of doing business. So other than talking to your wife, is there anything else that'll stop you from signing up today? And you right back into your close. That's typically how I deal with those. But that's part of explaining. Then once you're done explaining, you go on to the last part of closing, which is reinforce. So when you reinforce it like reinforcing starts after the closing question has been answered, in my opinion. So after they say, all right, cool, I don't mind working with you, great. So what I'll do is I'll send you over some agreements. We'll go over them on the phone. They'll outline the stuff that we've already talked about. They'll outline the fee agreements. We don't know exactly how long it takes for these funds to pay out. Sometimes it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Just depends on what it is. Sometimes there's liens. We have no clue, but we're going to do all that research stuff on the once we get these agreements signed. And I'm sending them that on the phone. So I just reinforce what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how they're going to get paid, how the research is going to work. And now I'm sending them over the agreements. So that's the closer framework from like A to Z. That was like a nasty rough draft of it. Nasty rough draft of it. I want to talk about the mobile homes. Y'all didn't ask me enough mobile home questions, but I get it. Surplus funds could be really it could be really confusing. So y'all can ask any surplus funds questions that you got. Any more questions that you got? I don't know if you was in here, Sandra, but I got a 50-50-50 program. You can send me a message over in Facebook in the private group if you want to join. What the program is we 50-50 deals for until you get to 100,000. Once you're at 100,000, you can continue to be my partner, or you can go on. But at that point, you would have paid $50,000 for the one-on-one, and you'll have a lifelong mentorship. But if you want to join, just hop over and shoot me a message in the group 50 with your email address, your phone number, and a good time to call, and we will discuss in detail. And no, you don't have to pay anything up front. The minimum requirement is to have have watched the course. And I'm gonna know if you watched the course or not versus by the questions that I ask you. What you got over here, my boy? Low key, maybe more than 6. Let's see. I have about 6 trailer parks I can hit. Okay, so trailer parks. All right. So my other student, the other guy that's in the 50 program, he got his first trailer yesterday, and it's in a park. And let me tell you what happened. It could have been a good deal. It was like a Wind Zone 2. It's like a 1989 or something like that. The lady just wanted to get rid of it. She was like, "Can you come move it?" And he hung up the phone with her and like called me. And I was like on an appointment or something. So I didn't talk to him right away. And when I called him back, he was like, "Man, the lady just wanted to get rid of it." And he was like, then he looked back on Facebook. I asked him where he got the lead from. He told me Facebook. And he looked on Facebook and he was like, "It looked like she sold it." And she was like, "I'll send you a message if they don't come pick it up tomorrow." So where he dropped the ball at on that was, he should have went to see him as soon as. When you get those mobile home calls, they hot like firecrackers. You got to go see them. Wow, that's why I say put up signs to do the marketing, because if you put signs up in that area, that means you don't mind driving back to that area. In regards to parks, you have to do a little more due diligence with parks to make sure they don't have any back lot rent. Sometimes you can't move the mobile home, so you got to make sure that you're actually getting into a deal that makes sense. And mobile home parks don't like bandit signs around, like in their park. You can obviously put them on public places around there, and you got to know where to put the bandit signs. You got to know where to put the bandit signs. You got to know. You don't got to have a whole lot. If you can afford $100 a month, you should be able to make, I would say, at least $10,000 a month with mobile homes. If you could just put out $100 a month. You in Natchitoches, I will go to all of the main intersections. Not the crazy main intersections. Yep. High on poles. That's a good one. Light poles. Yep. And mind you, you can only put them so high unless you 6'2", 6'3" plus. If you put them low, I know in the market, people snatch bandit signs down all the time. I remember when I first got in this business, I paid my mentor, when we started the mentorship, and he sent me a picture of like 40 bandit signs he had picked up. They was all mine. He was like, "Man, I thought these was yours." He was like, "Yeah, man, people snatch them down." I was like, I was putting them on stop signs. I had like the rectangle ones, and they was like snatching them down. And I actually don't put up bandit signs in the city looking for houses. What we do with houses is strictly PPC. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, dang, like they took all my signs down. You were using Tie Flip. I think I was using Flipman strategy. Flipman, I watched a lot of Flipman when I first got started. That's funny you said that. I watched a lot of Flipman when I first got started. Never got to deal that way. I watched a lot of Jerry Norton too. But you go put the mobile home signs up. We buy land and mobile homes, any condition, cash. Phone number, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. That's how I like doing it. And handwrite them, guys. Don't get the printed out joints. I'm not saying you don't make money from the printed out joints. I'm saying you're gonna pay more money, and it's only really worth it if you buy them in bulk. Realistically, handwritten responses get the best responses. You get I don't know if I showed this in the last live, but I'll show it again. You get this marker, and you hold it like this. You don't hold it like this. Hold it like this, and you make sure you're pressing down, and you write like a kindergartner, whatever you write. It's gonna come out coolest ever. But yeah, you want to go high on light poles, intersections, and guys, not like the crazy. When I say the crazy busy intersections, it's certain intersections that you can go to in certain parts of every city, and you'll be okay. But mind you, if you go to certain parts of my neighborhood and you put up a "We Buy Houses" sign, the neighbors are going to snatch it down. I don't care how busy that intersection is. Now, if you live somewhere near there and you can just go back there and put it up, then no problem. You'll just be that pestering person that's always putting your sign up. That's no problem. And I'm saying this because you want to avoid code enforcement. Code enforcement is different, and depending on what county you're working in, code enforcement is different. I've never had a huge issue with them. I saw them snatching down some of my signs, but I never had a huge issue with them. Friday after 5 p.m., they will stay until Monday. Yes, I like that strategy too. But mind you, I drive like 2-3 hours from where I live to put up mobile home signs. When they come back to I drive like 2-3 hours to put up mobile home signs. So I like to put them up in places where they stay. Like I work the country, the sticks, like places like Edgard, Louisiana. If y'all Google Edgard, EDGARD, Louisiana, you'll be like, wow. I think it's like population 5,000 or something crazy like that. I was making 10 grand a month out there just putting up signs in Edgard, and they would stay for the longest. As a matter of fact, one of the first people I did it with, she got a deal from a sign she put up at the end of 2021. At the end of 2021, and she got a call from this deal like 2 months ago. I was like, man, that's crazy. Signs stay up out there forever. Yeah, man. I do deals in small markets all the time. I'm a different thinker, and when people go left, I go right. When people go up, I go down. I'm just like that. Like I never owned. Well, I'm lying. I've owned like 2 pair of Jordans. My mom bought me a pair, and I bought a pair that was like on sale. I just never owned Jordan because everybody had them. The same reason I never get the Challenger or Camaro because everybody got them. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm not that guy. Let's see. Facebook PPC gonna be crazy. Then I was doing Facebook PPC for wholesaling back in 2017 when I could target by zip code. For me, I rock with white V-necks every day. Oh yeah, every day. Pretty much, it's too hot for that. Yeah, every day. I do have some merch coming in that I'll be giving away. It'll be like a giveaway. It's like a short pants set. But I'll put it up for y'all whenever it comes. But in regards to those mobile homes, bro, those small markets, you make really good money in those small markets. If y'all live even in California, they got mobile homes in California. I'm not sure obviously where, but I do know they have mobile homes. The only problem with Facebook PPC was I was getting leads in random places after they took away targeting by zip code. Yeah, that's true. So in regards to that PPC, do you know do you understand PPC in regards to Google Ads? Is that something that you know? Is that like a strong suit of yours? Well, we in regards to the way I get my mobile home leads, I have my solution for that. I have a solution for each set of leads I want to get. Oh, you know what, Lamarius? We need to talk. We need to talk. Yes, we do, because this is the direction. I'll tell you guys the direction I'm going in with my business. So mobile home leads, we'll be putting out roughly 250, 500 signs a month, anywhere from 250 to 500. So that'll keep the mobile homes flowing. I mean, that should be an easy $20,000 a month. That should be an easy $20,000 a month. And I'm talking about selling them quick. Like you sell mobile homes quick. You don't sit on mobile homes. When you get the right mobile home, even the wrong mobile home, you get it cheap enough. I bought a mobile home that was like ruined and made profit on it. Sometimes when you got to get them moved, that's a little different. Sometimes when they're in parks, you got your different little challenges you face. Sometimes it's just super shitty. You got to know when they too high. Normally, I don't pay more than $5,000 for it, maybe 10 if it's in really pristine condition. But I put out bandit signs for those leads. In regards to surplus funds, we'll have cold callers reaching out to people, getting us those leads, right? So we got the surplus funds, the mobile homes covered. In regards to the wholesaling, that's where the PPC's coming in there. We are going to do Google ads and probably a little bit of Facebook and YouTube ads with that. So that's the structure I'm going in, because PPC is expensive, but it's getting crazy expensive just to get outcoming leads in regards to cold callers with wholesaling. It's just kind of drying up there. So yeah, bro. For sure, shoot me a message, man. Make sure you shoot me a message in the group with your contact info, bro. We could definitely work something out. I'm sure we could work something out. With the excess funds and the PPC. So anybody else that's in the box? Oh, I got 3 people watching, man. Can I get 3 likes? Anybody? 3 likes, possibly? Just 3? Yeah, maybe. No, the third person. My guy, my gal, my peeps. 3. Let's see. You ever consider SMS for trailers like they would? So the thing with SMS for mobile homes is, where do you get your mobile home leads? You would have to, now you can go on certain share sites and get the leads. Like I know St. Tammany Parish, you can get leads. East Baton Rouge, you can get some trailer leads. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I sent a direct message on Facebook and put. Okay, I got you, brother. But that's the question. Like, where you gonna get the leads from when you actually when you're sending them the text? Who are you sending the text to? That be the question. I think PPC will probably be a great way to get mobile homes, or if you trained a mobile home, or if you trained a virtual assistant to go on Facebook and scout leads, that would be a great way. See, doesn't the land have to be zoned for mobile homes, right? What if you skip the landowner? Oh yeah, you can most definitely skip the landowner. So you're saying, I'm saying, where do you get the lead from? Is this lead coming from driving for dollars? Because if so, yeah, I get that. Yeah, you could definitely you could skip the landowner. Now sometimes the landowner just owns the land and somebody's renting from them. They just got their mobile home there. I would say if it's a vacant mobile home, then the landowner probably owns it. And if he doesn't own it, he'll probably give it to you as long as you can move it. He's probably give it to you for free. But the main question is, where's these leads coming from? Is this driving for dollars leads or what? Word. That's why I focus on with the bandit signs with them. I mean that it was like a tornado. I put up the first like 100 signs out there, and they were ugly signs. Like I have a bandit sign strategy that I tell people to use in the beginning. I'll probably be putting a mobile home course together soon. It'll be free just like the other course. But within that course, I'm gonna tell you how to get bandit signs for free. I'll give y'all a tidbit on it now. Easiest way to get bandit signs for free is take people like mine down. It ain't a sustainable way, but it's a way to start. I found out a couple of people in my market that took down signs, so I targeted their signs, and I had people on the streets take their signs down for me, and I would just pay them for it. So take the sign down, I would paint over their sign. Also, those signs that when they were after they would do elections, they would just throw those signs away. They'd just be trash. They just pick them up and trash them. So I just help the city out, and I pick those signs up. And what we do is we pick those signs up and we go buy ourselves a gallon of white paint, and make sure you get the H wires that's in the ground with them. And if you have the H wires, what you can do is you can paint both sides of the board, stick them in the ground, like in the backyard or somewhere. If you got like somewhere you can stick them in the ground, and you can maybe paint like 75 of them. I'm gonna go through my old phone and find the picture. You could pay 75 or 100. I know I did like 120, and I just painted them, let them dry overnight, and I was like, wow, I got white bandit signs. So when it rain, the paint don't come off. And I just wrote on there, we buy land and mobile homes, any condition, cash. And then the bandit signs that I took down that were like, we buy houses. I was just, I remember I was out in the field and I ran out of bandit signs, and I was like, man, I should have brought more. So what I did was I had some bandit signs in my trunk that I had taken down, or that people had taken down for me, and they was like, we buy houses, any condition, and have a phone number, 504 blah 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 blah. And I was in the country, and I'm like, dang, I don't have no paint, and even if I did, the paint would have to dry. And then it just hit me. I just went and got some orange tape. I got some bright orange tape from Dollar Tree. I mean Dollar General. I spent like $20 on tape. Got buku of it. And I put orange tape. First I was putting it over all the words, and I was like, why am I doing that? I just put it over the houses and put mobile homes right there. So it was like, we buy tape, wrote on mobile homes, any condition, 504, tape, my phone number over there. Boop, put it on the sign. I remember, man, I was like hustling when I first got in this. Yeah, man, it was crazy. I gotta find a picture of some of those signs, bro. I wish I had some saved to my phone. I would put them in the chat. I mean, saved on my computer. I would put them in the chat. But the politician strategy was the best strategy. The best strategy, hands down. So in your hometown, when they have those, look, don't take them down before the election. You need to be out there the day of the election, like soon as it's happening. You need to be taking signs down, because it's over with at that point. Because they're gonna start taking them down that night. But if you go snatch them, you can get you 200-300 of them. Man, go get 200-300 signs. Go get you some paint, and you just got you 200 signs for your mobile home business. Fill your car up. Go to the sticks. When I say the sticks, I mean more rural areas where their mobile homes are zoned for. Don't put them up inside of parks. Don't put them up in crazy places where they'll be obviously taken down. Put them up near the parks. Put them up around the city. Put them up near highways. Put them up near exits, anywhere where traffic is backed up at. And I promise you, you put up 100 bandit signs a month for 3 months, you should make a minimum of $15,000-$20,000. Minimum. I would say any market, because they go like cars. People sell them like they sell cars. They come in, they get them in, get them gone. By any means necessary. By any means necessary. I had to get it. Man. It was crazy, bro. Like, and I still got those signs up in Agard. And I was just out in the field, like 2 hours away from New Orleans. And I'm like, dang, what am I gonna do? Like, bro, I didn't put up all my signs. I don't know how I only brought like 20 signs. I think I got them mixed up with the pile of the ones that was done and one done. And I ended up having like 50 of them that just needed tape put on them. So I was like, forget it. And they was all different kinds. Like, some of them was red, white, and blue. Some of them was black and white. Some of them was yellow. Some of them was old politician stuff that I had to just put tape over. It was just real, like, tacky. Like, if you just getting started out in the business, you'll be so in your head, like, oh, I'm not putting up these tacky signs. This don't look professional. Ain't nobody gonna call me. Exact opposite. People love the tacky signs. You know what I figured out? People feel like it's somebody like them that's doing it. Like, they're not calling a major company when they're calling the buyer. Hey, I'm calling the guy that live in the neighborhood that's selling one. You know, that's how I come off. So that's the logic in putting up the ugly signs. Now when I order the all white signs, obviously they're not as ugly as those signs, but that's why we use handwriting. Handwriting is a fact. That's why people use companies that handwrite letters. That's actually another part of marketing we'll be doing with wholesaling. But and in the surplus funds, I just haven't got it there yet. But people use handwriting marketing for a reason. That works. So handwrite your signs. Please don't, unless you got money to throw at it, and I'm talking about at least $500. don't get the signs we're writing on, because you're only gonna be able to afford comfortably 60 signs, 70 signs, maybe. And don't get the little signs. Get the 18 by 24. Don't get the little signs. The little signs are a no-no. The third person in there, if y'all can shoot me a like, I would really appreciate the 3 likes while I'm in the live. It's three joints that just make me super duper happy. What's the next question? Exactly. I caught that the other day when you mentioned working with your wife. I use to do that too on postcards. 20. Yeah, I always mention working with my wife. Always. IT converted way better. Yeah. I mean, it converted way. I say IT. It converted way better. Hey, my name is Thomas, and my wife name is Kelly. That's how I started every postcard. And the person would say, "I called because you were working with your wife, Sandra. I like. I see 3 likes on my end. Yeah, you see 3 on your end. I only see 2 on my end. Well, 3 it is. I appreciate them 3, everybody. I'm sorry for being greedy for likes. Um, yeah, bro, that wife opener or Sandra, say husband. You know what I mean? Whenever and this is when you're doing anything, guys. That's gonna take I'm talking about wholesaling calls, surplus funds calls, um, mobile home calls. Even if you want to get the pressure off yourself in the conversation, like, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna speak with my wife about it, because that's what sellers do to us all the time. They do it to us all the time. Sellers and people like in the surplus funds industry, they do it to us all the time. So I always call, hey man, my wife and I was in the area. We saw a property that we think you own on Pennsylvania Avenue. Any clue what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, I own the property on Pennsylvania. I own a couple of ones. Oh, okay, well I'm talking about the one on 1306 Pennsylvania. Yeah, what about it, man? When we was in the area, we looking to get our first property. We don't know if we want to rent it or possibly try to do a flip. But she been getting on my nerves about reaching out to somebody about this property, and she sent me over your phone number and stuff. So I let her do all that. I have no clue how she do it, but I was just reaching out to you to see what y'all consider a cash offer. Oh man, the conversation is so smooth. It's so smooth. Like their guard is down. You're another married man to another possibly married or maybe divorced, or maybe his parents was married, but regardless, he gets the concept of just married. It just brings their defenses down. And it's not like we're trying to bring their defenses down to BS them, but we're bringing their defenses down so people can actually start hearing you. People don't hear you until they register. In my opinion, they don't hear till they register 3 things in their mind. Who is this? What they want? Why they call me? Or how you get my number? Who is this? What they want? How you get my number? Sometimes they don't ask how you get my number, but it definitely be on their mind. So I try to deal with those objections as soon as the call come off in regards to surplus funds. Now I don't use the wife thing in surplus funds. Obviously, that's different. My wife, as I was in the area, we saw you had surplus funds. Sometimes I'll say my wife and I have a business. Um, but typically, you want to answer those 3 questions when they get on the phone. So if a female answers the phone and I'm calling the female, her name is Sandra. Ding. Hello, hey Sandra. Not hey, is this Sandra? Not hey, may I speak to Sandra Gonzalez? Not hey, is this Miss Sandra? No, I never call and sound professional at all. It's always like I'm finna ask you to borrow some sugar. Like, why I had to say sugar? Well, yeah, borrow some sugar. So it's like I call, hey Sandra, yeah, this is Sandra. Hey Sandra, yeah, this is Dexter. I work with KIP Recovery Asset or KIP Asset Recovery. We was reaching out to you about a property we think you want to own on Pennsylvania Avenue. What it is we do is we help people recover possible assets or valuables that could be owed to them due to the sale of a property. Familiar with that property? Yeah, I know that property, and I'm on into my call. But I answered 3 questions: who I want, what I do, who I want, who am I, and what do I do? And if they ask, how did you get my number? That's great you asked, Sandra. We actually have 3 levels to our business. We have a research team, we have a locator team, and we have a legal team. And our research team is actually how we got your number. We pay private investigators to help us find people, and it's not the cheapest thing, but we pay private investigators to help us find people that are possibly owed funds. The research team is how we actually figured out that you could be owed funds. And if you decide to work with us today, we have our own legal team that processes everything. so you and your husband can put your checkbooks up. So that sound fair? That sound fair. Go into my pitch. Any questions over there? Any questions in the box before I slide? Before I slide, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. We're at an hour 15 minutes. I just kind of freestyle. I don't know how long I'm gonna go. I pretty much go depending on what y'all ask me. Sometimes y'all ask me something that'll spark a bug, and I'll go another 15, 20 minutes. So any questions that y'all want to ask while y'all here? Surplus funds, wholesaling, building your business, getting VAs, getting the LLC, applying for credit, getting business credit, getting your EIN, any of that stuff, automating your business. I answer those questions where I can. What CRM to get? What any questions that you got in regards to your business. Anything. If we don't have nothing in here in the next minute, what we got, Sandra? Thank you. Right now, I started in the vacant land business, but I do want to get into the surplus funds. So vacant land is great. Are you in that Land Academy group? I forget the lady's name, but she seems dope. Vacant land is great. Vacant land. If you do vacant land, you do mobile homes. I prefer vacant land. Joe McCall. Oh, I heard the Joe McCall. Yeah, his group pretty dope. Yeah, vacant land dope. I make money with vacant land. Yes, I do. So what I typically do is I try to pick up vacant land again in the sticks. That's why my signs say we buy land and mobile homes any condition. That's exactly why it says that. So if you get the land, let's say you find some land, you get it under contract for a pretty good price. Let's say you get some land for $5,000, right? And then you get a phone call about a mobile home that you can get under contract for another $3,500. It's $8,500 for both of them. Now the mobile home may not be in the best condition, but it's livable. It works. You can do a little touch up to it, and you got the land. You can actually buy both of those, charge somebody $10,000 down, sell it to them for $70,000 with the land underneath, and create a note for the next 30 years at $75,000 at 9% interest with $785 payments or something like that. But most definitely affordable because it's a mobile home. The most important thing about it is you're gonna own the dirt underneath. You're gonna keep the mineral rights to the dirt. Most of the time they don't care. If they do care, you get somebody else in there, but I keep the mineral rights to my dirt. That's just how I run my business. And I also require option agreements. Unless I'm owner financing it to you. I don't do option agreements with owner finance, but if we're doing anything else, it's gonna be like owner finance. I mean, an option agreement in there. So yeah, land is dope. Definitely do land. Now in regards to houses, I've sold about 6, 7 vacant lots that were put that they built houses on. I'm not crazy about those, just because that's so market contingent. Nice, thank you, baby. Help me. Oh man, no problem. Thank you, man. God bless you as well. I hadn't sold many lots that they build houses on because that's a big contingent on the market. And those sellers typically are a little different than the ones that are in the sticks that have the land. They're a little more reasonable. And I can actually turn that land in the sticks into cash flow for the next 30 years by putting a mobile home on that land and selling it to a family. That same mobile home that's probably only worth 10 grand all fixed up, I can now sell on top of that dirt for 60 grand, 75 grand all fixed up because it comes with some dirt. That's the play. That's one of the plays I got lined up. Man, we gotta talk, brother. We gotta talk, man. We gotta talk. Create that. We gotta create some residuals. That's what the year of 2024 gonna be for me. It's gonna be residuals. I really haven't been focusing on it. Everything I pretty much do now is active. Once you got the active income together and you kind of turn the active into residual, meaning that your system is going strong enough to where the active income is steadily paying you, now you can really take that active income and buy the land and all that good stuff. But I won't shy away from a good deal. I'll tell you that. I watched one of my homeboys go from zero to over $1 million net worth on paper in 24 months. Damn, in Shreveport. Good old Shreveport, man. I lived in Shreveport for a while, bro. Like I said, I sold vacuum cleaners in Shreveport. Shreveport rough. Shreveport is not a city for the weak at all, man. At all. That's another good place to do a little mobile homes. We actually pulling a surplus funds list in Shreveport tonight. We got it together. Yeah, my VA just checked in. Yep, my VA just checked in. We pulling the list there tonight. Yeah, brother. You got any more questions for me, my man? Anything else you want to know, bro? I'm gonna wrap this one up. Wrap this one up. I hope I answered some questions for everybody. I'll be popping on here again before the week's out. I'm gonna figure out how to go live when I scheduled it to go live, because I scheduled it to go live. I came in, I was ready to go, and there was like no button to click. I'm like, where's a button to click to go live? I had to like start a whole new live. He took down 30 sub 2/ created deals, put them all in the land trust, and controlled each deal under his LLC under one portfolio, and was able to get loans based off. Hell yeah, he could. Yeah, he controlled them. Yeah, he got the sub 2s, put them in a trust, but he had the in separate LLCs with inside the trust, each one of the properties. Yeah, that's the name of the game. That's a good buddy to have. That's a good buddy to have right there. Sound like you can learn a lot from him. Sound like you learn. My mentor do crazy stuff like that. That's kind of like the whole note buying thing. Like you can literally get in contact with some non-performing loan holders, and they be like, listen, bro, we'll sell you our loans, but you gotta buy them all. Like, well, how many you got? You got 500. We'll sell them all to you for 5,000 a piece. Like, you got to come up with the money, but that's one hell of a deal. You get to control 500 properties for $5,000 a piece. Sheesh. You see, all my homies stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is over here, bro. I don't really hang with no flunkies. No disrespect, I ain't gonna say flunkies, but I don't hang with birds that don't fly like me. Put it that way, like, you know. Either you trying to fly in the direction I'm in, or you already got a bird's nest there, and I'm trying to build my bird's nest right next to you. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I talk to my mentor, I talk to my business partner, and I talk to a cousin because he's in business. Pretty much everybody that's I got a relationship with, that I keep up with, it got something to do with business. I don't have no leisure friends. I don't really care about sports. I don't really care about politics. I don't really care about. I ain't gonna say I don't care about politics. I don't care about it enough to follow it. Now I don't really care about none of that. I'm just trying to secure a cash flowing business that's gonna be profitable, sustainable, and raise my family. That's about it. Raise my kids and nurture my family. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up, my boy. Y'all be like, man, it's your Savvy Investor Dex. Out. All winners have the same habits. That's real. We'll wrap on that one, my boy. I'm gonna get at you tomorrow, man. I know you sent me the message. We'll figure out a time to hop on the phone tomorrow. Yes, sir.